And right now it's time for that time when we have our special guest. Tonight's special guest is Tony Roberts. Tony is the Managing Director of Hampton Down's Motorsport Park. Soon to open, the park will be full of the roar and the fury of cars racing. It's the culmination of a 15-year dream. We welcome Tony Roberts as our special guest on The Beat Goes On. Tony Roberts, welcome
Thank you.
to The Beat Goes On.
Thank you very much.
It's a baby boomer chat show. You're 58 years old. You're a classic baby boomer.
Yes.
Born in that thing, and you're doing something quite wonderful. This whole show's about encouraging baby boomers to get out there, to climb that mountain, make that CD, write that book, and you're doing something wonderful. You're building a motorsport park at Hampton Down. So what exactly is it? Before we go any further, what are you actually building at Hampton Downs?
A lot of things are going on there. We've got a motorsport circuit, that's the easy bit really, and then we've got convention centres, we've got a business industrial park, we've got camping grounds, we've got lodge areas, we've got lifestyle blocks for petrol heads to move in and build their big shed and store their cars in and race cars. So we've got many sides to it. We've got an equestrian centre going in, we've got parts for motorbikes, racing cars, skid pan for driver training, the largest skid pan in New Zealand, size of a football field with water spraying on it, things like that.
Anything with petrol in a cylinder, it just actually excites you, doesn't it? So where did that all start?
Yes, well, I've got a business partner in this too, Chris Watson.
Okay,
and,
let's say hello to Chris.
Yeah, hello Chris. And we really started on this many years ago, 10, 15 years ago, even up to 20 years ago. We had the dream to build a racetrack, and it largely came about. We both race cars, and we got to the point where we couldn't hire Pukekohe that often. There's only one racetrack for half the population. We've got 6 racetracks in New Zealand. One racetrack serves 2 million people, and the other 5 serve the other 2 million people. So there's been this need to build a racetrack up in the north of the North Island. And we saw this need and thought, we thought first of all we'd try to buy the lease to run the Pukekohe circuit. We couldn't do that, so we thought, let's go and build one.
So where do you put it? So you must have looked for
we did.
Weeks, months, days, driving along?
Years. We used to drive along. We would go out to Kaukopakapa, Helensville. We went north of Auckland quite a bit, got stuck down some muddy roads. And then finally we started to move into the Waikato. We heard there was a farm for sale up at Hampton Downs Road. I happened to phone up the owners of Enviro Waste, who also had the land there, and we ended up buying both farms on the same day.
Wow.
So we then had 400 acres of land to go ahead and build the racetrack. We had realised by then if we wanted to do the things we wanted to do, we needed to own the land. And all the other people that have tried to do tracks in the past, they've all tried to do it without spending their own money.
Yes.
And one of the reasons that the bank, we're with the BNZ, who have been very good to us, one of the reasons that they liked us was because we put everything on the line. We put our houses, we've got the personal guarantees. It's a total commitment to buying the land and to building this thing. Yes.
Now, what sort of race meets do you expect to be holding there, and how soon?
Well, we've got the rights to the World Superbikes.
Wow.
We've just got to find a promoter for that. We've got the rights for the A1GP if it comes back to New Zealand, which it looks likely to do, probably October next year. We've got other large events happening in January, end of January. We've got the Bruce McLaren meeting, which has got 120 teams coming from overseas at the moment. Gigantic race meeting, probably one of the largest we'll ever get in New Zealand. It's got all the old Formula One cars are coming, the Formula 5000s. There's just a huge range of cars that are coming down to do that one, and we'll do one round at Hampton Downs and one round at Pukekohe. The thing is with the track, it's a Category 2 circuit, so it can run every race meeting except Formula 1. So sky's the limit really. We can just take anything. We could run Indy cars, we could run anything that wants to be there.
No chance of ever getting Formula 1 in New Zealand?
No. Formula 1 costs far too much. You need a hospital at the circuit, you need giant pits, you need a lot of money, 100 million plus to get it there. Yeah.
To make it a pleasant or wonderful day out for the average motoring fan, right from the guy with money in his back pocket right down to the guy that arrives for the day, what sort of facilities will they have?
Well, motor racing attracts all kinds, and most people want to go there and they want to wander around, they want to find their favourite corner, and so what we have there, we've got a pedestrian tunnel, so when you come into the motorsport park itself, you go through a big square and you walk down that big wide steps, go through the pedestrian tunnel. Once you go through that, you can then go and sit on a big grassy embankment. There's 2 or 3 of those. There's one in the front straight, there's one by the hairpin, or if you want to, you can walk up into the pit top area there and walk around all the cars. There's more slopes that you can go onto as well. Within there, there's a pavilion called Gasoline Alley, which is bigger restaurants, things like that will be there. So there's lots and lots for them to do all day long.
And some of the better heeled clients, they've purchased their own apartment overlooking.
They have.
That's wonderful, isn't it? Or you can rent one of those apartments for the weekend.
Yes, you
can. That was a great idea. Whose idea was that?
It was a combined effort really. We thought first of all, how do they fund the golf courses, and we realised that they do apartments, and we thought maybe we'd do 10, and we thought 20. And we thought 40 and 60, and the last minute as we did the brochure, I put another block on, took it to 80.
Wow.
And that filled the space right on top of the hill. So it was a concept that we came up with to help to pay for the racetrack.
And they've sold out, haven't they?
Yes, they sold in 5 weeks.
Wonderful.
We sold $26 million worth of
apartments.
Of apartments in 5 weeks.
Would you
should have got a gold pen really.
Are you going to do more, or is it going to stop at 8?
We are doing a different concept with apartments. We've got a business park right alongside the track, and we're building a whole range of business apartments which will be 2-storey, but they will be larger, and they're based on accommodation. So someone could live there, they could either work below, or they can keep all their toys down there, so it'll hold 4 or 5 cars, and they will also get a view of the racetrack. They get a view of turn 1 in the back straight. And I think that's an exciting concept that will sell. We're going to launch that in about a month's time.
Now, what sort of feedback are you getting from your average guy that loves his cars and dreams of driving a car? I mean, what do they think of the fact that you're doing all this for them? Great, it must be great feedback.
Oh yes, positive, really positive. I enjoy taking people round the track and just watching their jaws drop, because as they go round, this is a facility that's a quantum leap above what we've had here. The corners, it's got rise and fall. It's designed by an international track designer, Clive Bowen. There's 2 in the world who do Formula 1. Clive's one of those. So we've got a very good product. We've got good corners. The whole thing's been really planned out well.